So the Anaheim Angels and the Shohei Ohtani machine have come into town, and they took the first game of the series against the Yankees tonight by a score of 5-3. Ohtani did hit a home run in the first inning off Yankee starter Michael King, who did go 4 in a third inning. He hit a home run off a pretty tough pitch actually, and but as kind of been indicative with Michael King this year, he tends to get hit pretty hard in the first inning, and then he settles down. No, it was no different today. He did give up 2 runs in the first, but then he wound up settling down. He went 4 in the third. He was replaced by Lucas Licky, who got hit a little bit, gave up a run or 2, and Chad Green came in, gave up a run, but he did strike out Ohtani, and who with his, with the exception of his home run, he struck out a few times. But then the pitcher of the night was Nestor Cortes. He came into a scoreless ninth and looked really, really good. So it's got to be the mustache. On the offensive side on the Yankees, we had a home run from Giancarlo Stanton and Gio Urshela, and a towering RBI ground out by Gary Sanchez. And that accounted for the 3 runs on the Yankee side. They lost 5-3. But similar trends, again, and I keep repeating this stuff, and I hate repeating it, but it keeps happening. The Angels already had one of the weakest starting rotations in baseball. There was no different tonight. Dylan Bundy started. He only lasted 2 innings. He did give up 2 runs, but he left the game for heat exhaustion. I wish he would have stayed in the game because I think the Yankees would have probably keep hitting him, but that didn't happen. Their bullpen came in, and of course the bullpen just shut the Yankees down for the most part, and with the exception of Stanton's home run. And it's crazy because this happens so many times with so many teams, with average bullpens and average starting rotations. They come here and they just dominate the Yankees. The Yankees can't figure out, they can't hit themselves out of a paper bag or a plastic bag sometimes. But they keep doing the same things. Like hitting, looking at called third strikes on pitches right down the middle, or swinging at a third strike that's 8 feet outside the plate on an off-speed pitch. And my most absolute favorite thing, which they do on a regular basis, is swinging at the first pitch and either popping up or grounded out. And I'll give you an example, and this kind of reflects part of the Yankee season, is if you guys don't want to see pitchers like Adam Ottavino, who was traded there and now dominates the Yankees, if you don't want to see these guys in consecutive games, okay, stop giving them 4 to 5 pitch innings. Work the count. Work the count on relievers. Work the count on starters. You guys are pretty much an all or nothing, a home run or nothing team. You don't do the small ball. You don't bunt. You don't drive guys over. You're not hitting runs and all this stuff. So what are you swinging at first pitches for? Okay? Because in the most part, a lot of the times that they're not strikes. You're swinging at stuff outside. You wind a cheap pop-up to second base or a flimsy ground out. Like, what are you doing? Work the count. Tire some of these pitchers out. Get them out of the ball game so you can get to the freaking bullpen. And then do the same thing to the bullpen. It's stuff like that it just makes the Yankees look so clueless and amateur. Okay, and why you keep throwing Brett Gardner out there and Clint Frazier out there? Why are you doing it? They're not hitting. You have guys at AAA who can come up, and even guys like, Miguel Andujar has not been that bad, but even Tyler Wade, okay? And I like Wade, and I like the other guys that I mentioned, but the fact is they're not performing and at the major league level. And if you want to put a good product out on the field, you got to do whatever you can do to make the team better, right? So, and Cashman keeps giving us the same lip service, or we're having dialogue with everybody. You're supposed to say that. You say this all the time, okay? And Hal's nowhere to be found, and it's much, and which drives me nuts because it makes me feel like you don't even care about your team, the product. You're just there to make money and to keep filling up the coffers. At least James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, he's a gigantic moron, but at least you knew he owned the team. He made terrible moves. He still tried to make moves to try to make the team better. At least you knew he was there. Hal, you don't even know what the hell's going on. You don't know whether he's just where are you, dude? Where are you? Speak. Okay? Same thing with Cashman. Speak. Tell us, do something. And you have 4 or 5 guys in AAA right now who can come up and give some type of production more than most likely the guys that are here. Tyler Wade, Brett Gardner, okay? Clint Frazier, and even Gleyber Torres, who's not performing right now. He's like in a 4 for 50 slump. Okay? And these guys you can send down. He has options. So does Clint Frazier. You have options. Send them down. Let them work on stuff and hopefully get better. Call guys up. Okay, these guys are hungry if they're getting a new opportunity. Just like Chris Gittens was. It took him a few games, but he adapted. He came around. And he started hitting better. I'm confident the same thing's going to happen with these guys. We're knocking the cover off the ball. Trey Amberg, Ho-Jun Park. Like, even Estevan Florial's not killing it like he was offensively before, but he still represents a viable option in the outfield. Multiple positions, defense. He's fast. He's got an arm. Okay? Brett Gardner doesn't have an arm. And why are we relying on these guys to drive in the runs? Like, they're not doing anything. So why not make some moves here? And again, I like Brett Gardner. He's the longest tenured Yankee and whatnot, but it might be time to DFA him or release him. And give him a day of give them Brett Gardner Day and stuff like that. But what's the point? It's almost as comical as expecting one of these reunions. It's like, I remember when they brought back Javi Vasquez. Why did you bring him back on it didn't work the first time. Or it's like bringing guys like Jeff Weaver in here and Jack McDowell. Like, what the hell are you doing? It's these same things. But on the flip side, why are you not calling up these guys? While in the meantime, you're trying to wait to make a trade or an upgrade or whatnot. But you keep sending these guys out who aren't doing nothing with the hopes that all of a sudden it's going to turn into this Remember the Titans moment and they're going to go on an absolute tear. Okay? It's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It's not working. Okay? And those little things, like I mentioned, on the offensive side, doing Little League stuff, where these guys are highly paid Major League Baseball players and should know, work the count. Move guys over, hit and run, hitting the gaps, bunt, steal bases. Why do you have Tyler Wade, who's the fastest guy on the team, if you're not going to have him pinch run on a regular basis and have him try to steal bases? What is he doing there? It's like, and it's almost like guaranteed out right now with Frazier and Brett Gardner. And putting almost a third of the lineup is a guaranteed out. Maybe we call up some guys and send those guys down and see if they can get their head right and get things right in the minor leagues and give these guys an option here. Because you know they're going to work hard, they're going to try hard, because they're going to want to stay up. And if they do, they do. That's the nature of it. Gleyber Torres is not on a $150 million contract. He's under control until 2025. Okay? Gardner's on a one-year deal. It's not like you're not sending down Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, they sent down Giambi to get things right. I remember that name. It was like almost controversial, but he went down and he actually made some adjustments and came back and was decent for a little while. There's no reason you can't do it with these guys. None at all. So, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? Why are you not doing it? And especially like myself, or Yankee fans across the board, we're pretty knowledgeable. We understand, and we talk about this with each other. And we're vocal, and we're going to continue being vocal when you're great and when you suck. We're going to continue being vocal. That's what makes us who we are, okay? And we want you guys to succeed. We want to push you guys. But if you're going to you're not going to give, top minor leaguers opportunities. And why are they there? Why do you have a minor league system if you're not going to call guys up? Why? So, and that was pretty much the recap of the game. There was nothing else to it. So, but aside from my tangent and my rant here, but it's all relative to what's going on with the Yankees right now. They're a pretty unwatchable team. And there's sometimes I want to watch curling. If you know what that is, they put that thing on the ice. It goes 2 miles an hour while the other people are screaming in each other's face. And they're like, you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's intense. But sometimes that's more exciting than watching the Yankees play right now. So, please, Cashman, please, Hal, start doing some things and make this team better. We want them to be great. Okay, we love our Yankees. And that's the thing. We don't hate other teams. We love our Yankees. We want them to be good. So we need you to do that. And especially Hal, if you want to justify continually raising prices or selling $11 hot dogs or $40 meals, then start putting a better product on the field to justify that stuff. Okay? Put a better product on the damn field. Period. End of story. There's nothing else to it. Okay?